morning, everyone. Ohayou gozaimasu. Thank you for coming for today's monthly memorial service and the Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭. This is the first time that we're holding this particular ceremony. Every December at headquarters, they hold what's called the Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭, or the ceremony in appreciation to those who gave distinguished services to the faith. And typically it's ministers who are honored at that ceremony, but sometimes there are believers who are also honored at that ceremony as well. For today's ceremony, this focus is not on the San Diego Church. I want to emphasize that a lot. The Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭that we are going to be holding, and I hope to hold continuously, does not focus on the San Diego Church. Instead, it focuses on those who helped the faith here in San Diego, so people in other states and in neighboring countries can also receive and learn more about Konko Daijin's faith. So I wanted to share that with you before we started today's ceremony. Please note that on the 27th, if I'm correct, 27th is the last Sunday of this month. We will have our end of the year service, and then our monthly service to Tenchi Kane no Kami at that time. So at this time, I'd like to begin our prayers, our service for the monthly memorial service for December and the Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭at this time. Please know that these blinds are all closed. And it's so bright, so I'm so sorry. I look like I'm part of the light, but anyway. So let's begin today's service with the prayer of sincere toritsugi. Haide. Prayer of sincere toritsugi. I am a Konko Kyo believer. I believe in Ikigami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. I have come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kane no Kami, honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kane no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive toritsugi. Kigami Konko Daijin sama, Tenchi Kane no Kami sama. Thank you. Haide. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Chido Keide, please bow your heads in prayer. 罪的神金光大臣の前に申さく。今より極月の月霊祭並びにサンディエゴ布教功労者報徳祭に取り種て使え祭らんと申す。金光教大阪教会、日広教会、玉水親教会、サンフランシスコ屋教会、各教会、初代教会長、歴代教会長はじめ、和平教会、初代教会長の恩徳をさらに申し、今日の御町を使え祭らんと申す。天地の大や神様、ご霊人様、これさげ行わん礼儀、極日かに、老神祭る信奉者、もろもろ、炎も身を正し、心新たにいただかしめたまえと、勘取り次、コインネギ祭りで、かしこみも申す。ひがみ金光大臣、I seek your 取り次 for today's service. Today we conduct the December monthly memorial ceremony and the San Diego Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭, the appreciation ceremony honoring those who are of distinguished service to the faith in San Diego. As someone without virtue, I seek to receive and cling to the virtue of the founding and past head ministers of the Kongo Church of Osaka, Michihiro, Tamamizu, San Francisco, and Wahua for today's service. 天地の神様 and to the Mitama spirits. Today the believers and I come together with our hearts, bodies, and minds refreshed, purified, and ready for today's service. Thank you. Now, please raise your heads. Amatsunori to Takamman no haran ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite sumemi oya kamizanagi no mikoto tsukushin no hyugan no tachibanan no odon no wawagi hara ni misogi harai tamau toki ni aremaseru harai don no okami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi Kegare o harai, tamai kiyome tamae tomosu koto no yoshi o amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no buchi koman no mimi puri tatete kiko shimese to kashikomi momosu. Please bow your heads and receive the rite of purification. Shido Keide, please bow your heads in prayer. Kenmaku mo kashikoki, Higami Kongo Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Oyagami sama no mimae ni, Kongo Kyo Sandiego Kyokai jo fukashi senji. Kashikomi mo mosaku, Kashiko karedo wara tenchi kane no kamihashi, Han mitoku tenchi ni amaneku michi watarase tamai, Kono mina o ikashi, Rozu no koto totonoe sase tamai, Hakite mo tenchi no aida ni sumu ningen ga minna kami no ujigo to me de itsukushimi tamai te aru wa, Hito mo kashikoki koto mo kiwami ni nam. On this cool winter morning here at the Kōrōsha Church of San Diego, on behalf of your beloved children, we have joined in one heart to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you for the blessings, favors, and interventions we receive daily. This morning, the Ujigo of the San Diego Hiromae have come to join in one heart to offer prayers of appreciation not only to those who passed away in the month of December, but also to those who have done much for the faith here in San Diego. This morning, we are honoring the following as Fukyō Kōrōsha, or those who are of distinguished service to the faith here in San Diego. Dr. Katsumi Miyai, Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, Madam Mitsuhiro Bando, Mr. Richard Dick Spies. The late Dr. Katsumi Miyai and his wife, Mrs. Chiyoko Miyai, planted the seed of faith here in San Diego County. Without these two, there would be many people who would not have come into contact with the teachings of Honko Daijin. We also honor and acknowledge, we appreciate you for sending the late Madam Mitsuhiro Bando here. Bando Sensei was one who practiced the teachings in her everyday life and as an instructor of Bando style of Japanese dancing. It is through Bando Sensei's spirit that many came to learn of the beauty of the Konko faith. According to Madam Hidesomi Bando, there were many students under Oshisho-san who became Konko Kyo members, especially in San Diego. We are very grateful that you sent Reverend Norikazu Yukawa to San Diego. In his own way, he was able to share the faith and save people through toritsugi and prayers. And the establishment of this church solidified your desire to save and help people in San Diego County, Mexico, Arizona, and beyond. Finally, with much aloha in our hearts, we thank you for Mr. Richard Dick Spies. It is through the compassion and love of him and his wife that the San Diego Church is allowed to continue to exist to this very day. When the doors were shut on the believers and the property illegally sold, it is the Spies Ohana that took in their brothers and sisters of faith. Without this simple act of love, there would be no place for believers and seekers to worship at. At this church, our foundation will never be forgotten. Today's Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭 is one step in honoring and revering our foundation. Kami-sama, you taught us, 天と地の間に住む人間はみんな神の氏子. Humans living between heaven and earth are all the beloved children of Kami. We know this teaching is of love. We know this teaching is not about acceptance, but of embracing all people as brothers and sisters. We know that this teaching transcends race, sexual orientation, size, color of one's skin, gender identity, age, occupation, social status, etc. We know that you are asking us not to be accepting, but to be embracing and loving, kind, and generous. In the spirit of our Fukyō Kōrōsha, this teaching will be at the heart of this church. All are allowed to attend and worship here, as soon as the pandemic has come to an end, of course. No one will be turned away. All will be allowed to receive toritsugi. No one will be denied. Kami-sama, please allow the San Diego Church to continue to give birth to true believers who continuously acknowledges and appreciates your blessings and receives okage, toku, shintoku, and nintoku, as well as lives an abundant life. Please continue supporting us to be a church that will spread the word, heal the wounded, pray for communities, and create bridges to the communities we serve. With this, I end this prayer. We will move over to the Mitama altar to begin the December monthly memorial service and the Fukyō Kōrōsha Hotoku祭. We pray that the blessings and favor of today's service is granted and received by all here today and those who could not be with us. Me ke aloha pume hana, mahalo anui e, our beloved Ikigami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kane no Kami. Now, please raise your heads. Chido tomoni haire, 4 sincere claps with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 29 for Shintoku Sanji. Haogi matsureba ten takaku, Haogi matsureba ten takaku, Orogami matsureba chiwa atsushi, Kami no megumi ni ikasaru mi no saiwai zo arigataki, Waga ikigami no ontori tsugi, Hitohin mo kakuru toki no naku, Tenchi no kami no onmamori, Toki chikaki no hedate nashi, Kangi tsukushimi wa yorozu yo ni amaneku michi de hate shinaku kan, Hakarai wa kusushikute hito no omoi zo, Oyobazaru warera kongetsu, Konnichi ari matsuri de hitasura ni, Kami no mikage o tatai matsuran, Kami no hirei o aogi matsuran. Prayer for the ending of the novel coronavirus pandemic. Kigami Konko Daijin Sama Tenchi Kane no Kami Sama. Kigami Konko Daijin Sama Tenchi Kane no Kami Sama. We offer our hearts of appreciation for your love and virtue as we are allowed to live in this very moment. Currently, a pandemic is rapidly spreading throughout this world. The novel coronavirus pandemic is causing much concern and raising anxieties amongst people and nations. Thus, we offer our hearts and prayers to you to end this pandemic as soon as possible. Sadly, There are those who have passed away because of this virus, and we put our hands together to pray for their spirit's peace and salvation. We also pray for those who are infected by the virus to quickly heal and recuperate in order that they may continue to contribute to society and the world. We pray for political, economical, and educational reform so that all the anxieties and distrust we have been harboring will dissipate and we will be blessed with societal order. For those that are suffering in the midst of this pandemic, please allow their faiths to be resurrected and their livelihoods be restored. Thus, now more than ever, we commit to reviving our hearts of appreciation, having a heart of kami, and praying for and guiding others. May we all be awakened to your truth that a faith that helps others helps ourselves. Use us to help you in this crusade to end this pandemic and bring peace to this world. It is our sincere prayer that the people of the world will not only have peace of mind, but also live happily, safely, and healthily. ひがみ金光大臣様天地金の神様ひがみ金光大臣様天地金の神様指導拝礼 4 sincere claps. Chido Haide 4 sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as a foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. 一度敬礼、Please bow your heads in prayer. 我幕も賢き、教祖根高大臣が生まれ、育て下され、安乗り十平の御霊の神、安乗り下の御霊の神、厚く御礼申し上げ立て祭ります。仰がれたももあなとうと、聞いても神、死にても神と称えられたまいし、金光教大阪教会初代、白神や広間道分けの御事の御霊の神、未来教会所白神道よきいや高根の君の御霊の神、金光教道広教会初代、長き貞七三牛道豊久死の御霊の神、金光教南魔教会初代、近藤逸垣藤森焼高の君の御霊の神、金光教東京教会初代、畑徳三郎東の道分け牛の御霊の神、未来教会長、畑はじめ牛の御霊の神、三大教会長、畑清牛の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人、畑久美子姫の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。これのご霊殿に静まります。金光教サンフランシスコ教会三大教会長、松井文雄牛の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人、松井文子姫の御霊の神、金光教玉水教会初代、湯川康太郎入試道照三柱牛の御霊の神、初代夫人、湯川秀沖たらし道照姫の御霊の神、未来教会長湯川茂牛の御霊の神、未来教会長夫人、湯川富夫姫の御霊の神、三大教会長、湯川康夫牛の御霊の神、三大教会長夫人、湯川まりこ姫の御霊の神、金光教銀座教会初代、湯川誠一牛の御霊の神、初代夫人、湯川津也姫の御霊の神、未来教会長、湯川信直牛の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。これの総霊殿の奥付き、見どこに見心も麗しく静まります。金光教サンディエゴ教会初代、湯川のりかずしの御霊の神、ありがとうございます。湯川家、土井家、牧野家、高橋家、白石家、ハンド家、ペティッツ家、ブスケ家、ビビンス家、中尾家、八田家、渋谷家、今岡家、先祖代々の御霊の神、ありがとう。秀島力松の御霊の神、秀島や掃除姫の御霊の神、秀島無名の御霊の神、大坪亀吉牛の御霊の神、石和春子姫の御霊の神、後藤勲牛の御霊の神、後藤智代姫の御霊の神、武田貞子姫の御霊の神、湯浅久姫の御霊の神、児玉正幸牛の御霊の神、児玉菊江姫の御霊の神、児玉京子ドルフィー大戸寺の御霊の神、高橋春子マーガレット姫の御霊の神、安武光子姫の御霊の神、長井真紀夫の御霊の神、公家徳郎牛の御霊の神、石松梅子姫の御霊の神、清水幸喜彦の御霊の神、大場愛子姫の御霊の神、大場正則牛の御霊の神、坂井春子姫の御霊の神、坂井和子姫の御霊の神、伊藤子姫の御霊の神、高田玉姫の御霊の神、高橋須磨子姫の御霊の神、吉高龍右衛門の御霊の神、ありがとうございます。宮井家、スピーズ家、浮須家、ペレア家、ココスカ家、田代家、伊藤千尋の家の御霊の神、服部家、神林家、ミク家、ドラン家、フィンリ家、野添家、フランク家、浅野家、ジュイレティ家、須藤家、井ノ口家、楠木家、 長島家、デイビス家、オブライエン家、デロウェイ家、高見家、秋野家、園田家、田中清信の家の御霊の神、田中義雄の家の御霊の神、坂東光弘の家の御霊の神、谷口好美の家の御霊の神、ブラスタスケスケ、河野家、飯森家、キャルフン家、藤本家、伊藤和子の家の御霊の神、森家、フェルチェル家、カミンス家、福田恵子の家の御霊の神、ヘッ家、ホルツメン家、アイゼックス家、浜川家、モーリス家、オーラー家、サハラ家、坂田家、ズーモ家、ホリンズワース家、瀬川家、浦田家、ブラウン家、テプナッパ家、ジョー家、松井家、松野家、ガーン家、岡崎家、ロペス家、ゴームス家、コレア家、秀島家、大坪家、ギルモア家、ハンフェル家、菅原家、横塚家、永田家、沖本家、高橋家、長川家、宮本家、岩下家、青野家、山城家、森里家、春家、森本家、小垣家、ビードル家、ミー家、オットン家、ワン家の統治親よよのや、からやからもろもろの御霊の神たちに厚く御礼申し上げたて祭ります。サンディエゴ教会、北サンディエゴカウンティ集会、春方に校舎に関係にあるもろもろの家の先祖代々の御霊の神、ゆえん無縁もろもろの御霊の神様に厚く厚く御礼申し上げたて祭ります。On behalf of the Ujiko of the San Diego Church, North County San Diego Gathering, San Diego County, the state of Arizona, state of Nevada, state of Texas, state of Hawaii, and Estados Unidos Mexicanos, I, Ta Zenji Takahashi, offer the following prayer. This morning, we take this opportunity to remember and honor the following Mitama who passed away in the month of December. 二代金光様、金光詩人、貫之の君の御霊の神、the second 金光様、詩人金光。教祖様四男、金光大臣、王子立分けの御事。金光大臣 fourth son、萩尾金光。金光教サンフランシスコ教会初代、福田義明の君の御霊の神。金光 Church of San Francisco founding minister, Reverend 義明福田。金光教和平和教会初代教会長、高橋春子、Margaret 姫の御霊の神。Founding 金光 Mission of 和平和 founding minister, Reverend 春子 Margaret 高橋。Nancy Ann Meek の御霊の神。Edward 秋典松井の御霊の神。William H. Meek の御霊の神。虎吉ハブの御霊の神。Laverne Spees 白紙姫の御霊の神。Francis Lorraine Clemmingsの御霊の神。Together, the San Diego Church and North County Gathering Ohana offer our hearts of appreciation to all of you for all you have done for each of us, society, and the world. We thank you for continuing to be in and a part of our lives. We offer a special prayer of appreciation to the following Mitama who passed away in the month of December. Edward Eddie Akinori Matsui no Mitama no Kami, 20 years. Laverne Spees Hakushi Hime no Mitama no Kami, 5 years. To all the Mitama called upon this morning, we thank you for watching over, guiding, and protecting us every single day. Thank you for embracing us daily with your love and warmth. We know that there are times when you shake your head, do a face palm, roll your eyes, and think, you've got to be kidding. We apologize that sometimes we just do not know what we do. However, we ask that you please continue to embrace us with your love, understanding, and virtue. We implore you to help and support us, to never give up in regards to the challenges of life. Guide us to turn our hearts to and trust in Kami. Please walk with us and guide us to have a heart that embraces all peoples, regardless of race, nationality, size, sexual orientation, gender expression, age, occupation, etc. Please guide your descendants to the church to learn more about our teachings of love and humanity. This morning, we pray for the many who passed away tragically due to war, hate, natural disasters, racism, poverty, accident, illness, discrimination, crime, or other tragic means. We also offer prayers to those who died on December 7th, 1941, on the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. We know that many are still missing. We know that there are souls that may have not found peace. However, we offer our hearts and prayers of aloha to all of you, so you may find peace, healing, and your way into the bosom of Tenchi Kane no Kami. It is our sincere prayer that along with Tenchi Kane no Kami, you will help heal the wounds of the victims hurt. Comfort yours and other family members whose hearts are broken, and comfort yours and other family members whose heart and yours were broken. And finally, we ask you, please join us in creating a world of not acceptance and tolerance, but instead of love, so no more tragedies, hate crimes, and wars will take place. Please return to Kami-sama's bosom of love, grace, and virtue. Receive Ikigami Konko Daijin's Toritsugi. Practice true faith with your descendants, and open your hearts to Kami's love, truth, true okage, and virtue. And let us walk together joyfully in appreciation and in faith. Now, 指導ともに入れ 4 sincere claps. Still okay, please bow your heads in prayer. At this time, on behalf of all believers in San Diego County, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Hawaii, and the country of Mexico, I take this opportunity to offer prayers of appreciation to Fukyō Kōrōsha, or to those who are of distinguished service to the faith in San Diego. We must first start with our roots and give appreciation first to 金光教大阪教会初代白神八広間道分の御事。金光教玉水教会初代湯川安たる三牛満ちてるに柱牛の御霊の神。初代夫人湯川秀沖たらし満ちてる姫の御霊の神。二代教会長湯川茂牛の御霊の神。二代教会長夫人湯川富代姫の御霊の神。We know that without the Reverend Shinichio Shirakami Sr., the faith would not even have traveled to east of Konko Daijin's worship hall. We know that the founding minister of the Tamamizu Church, Reverend Yasutaro Yukawa, first visited a Konko-kyo church in Osaka at Shirakami Sensei's Ohiromai. Yukawa Sensei had a deep sense of respect towards Shirakami Sensei. However, it was the second head minister of the Tamamizu Church, the Reverend Shigeru Yukawa, who tested his son to ensure that he was serious about his own missionary efforts. Next, we offer prayers of appreciation to Dr. Katsumi Miyai, whose passion and dedication to the way planted the seed of faith here in San Diego. Dr. Miyai, you were nurtured and saved by the love and compassion of Reverends Masanori and Aiko Oba of the Konko Church of Shiba. In appreciation to these great ministers, you dedicate your life to translating the Konko Daijin biography, as well as sharing the faith here in San Diego. Without your passion and nurturing, many in San Diego would not have been touched by the teachings of Konko Daijin. Dr. Miyai, thank you very much. We also offer prayers of appreciation to Matsui Fumio Ushi no Mitama no Kami, Matsui Fumiko Hime no Mitama no Kami, for whom without Reverend Norikazu Yukawa would not have found hope and solace in his heart. The two of you nurtured Yukawa Sensei's spirit, mind, and body, and offered him the love, support, and guidance he needed when his father, in a test to his son, cut ties with him. Reverend Fumio and Fumiko Matsui, thank you very much. Next, we offer a heart of love and appreciation to Yukawa Norikazu Ushi no Mitama no Kami. Yukawa Sensei, you had a passion to share this faith across the United States. In fact, your first missionary efforts began in Dallas, Texas, with the establishment of the Konko Mission of Dallas. Albeit it was not meant to be, your heart and spirit were sustained by the Reverends Fumio and Fumiko Matsui, who helped to nurture and strengthen you. You would then move to San Diego County, where you would begin gatherings, and then move on to establish the Konko Church of San Diego. You helped to expand the flame of faith that was planted by Dr. Katsumi Miyai and his wife. And although we may be stripped of a physical presence, the faith continues on because of the workings of your spirit. Sensei, thank you. We must also offer our hearts of appreciation to someone soft-spoken, yet so beloved by many of the believers of the San Diego Church. One of the unique qualities of the San Diego Church's members is that many love Japanese dance and were active members of the Bando Mitsuhiro Kai. Madam Mitsuhiro Bando, I am still in awe at how many entered the Kongo faith through Nihon Buyo. Your prodigy, Madam Hidesomi Bando, shared that one unique quality about Bando Mitsuhiro Kai members was that many became devout Kongo-kyo believers. Hidesomi Sensei said, I think they saw Oshisho-san's personality and grace were a reflection of Kongo-kyo, and they wanted to be the same. Bando Sensei, thank you very much for sharing the faith by just living the faith. We appreciate and acknowledge you as a Fukyō Kōrōsha in San Diego. Atsuku onne moshagemasu. Finally, we must offer our heart of appreciation to one more person who without hesitation saved the San Diego Church. Over 15 years ago, a heinous act occurred when an associate minister of the San Diego Church illegally closed and sold the church property. I am sure that it is without hesitation that Mr. and Mrs. Richard Spees embraced the congregation and took them into their home. Mr. Richard Dick Spees, on behalf of the congregation and all believers in San Diego County, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Hawaii, and New Mexico, we thank you for this selfless act that saved not just the church, but also the flame of faith that has helped so many. Mr. Spees, your simple and generous act of kindness continues to today. The Hiromai is still in your home. Thank you very much. As this prayer comes to an end, we ask that all Mitama honored this month, the families of all Mitama called forth, as well as the Fukyō Kōrōsha, that you please receive our prayers, offerings, and Ulaya kamakaluvala, uahike alohala, kukahiaka aluvala, pave mai na halehua, mai koho okuiaka halavahila, mahalo eke akua. Mahalo e na kunalahea, mahalo me ke alohala, mahalo e na kunalahea, mahalo me ke alohala, mahalo e na kunalahea, mahalo me ke alohala. Mahalo e aloha e, mahalo ka kohu e, mahalo. Now, please raise your heads. Chido tomo ni haire, 4 sincere claps with the head officiant. Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. Sosen Sanji. Yoyon no oya wa 我が家の神、我が神と心尽くして、いつき祭らんな心尽くして、いつき祭らんな尊き御親の神たちよ、海の子のために家の柱を沈め立てたまい、初子のために世のなりわいよ、守り助けたまい、隠り世の見えぬ境にましませども、見尽くしにのみ心は映し、世に変わらせたまわず先見たまのまさき草木は言えたまい、くしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて、志は薪の柱の動きなくなり、ファイは薄々な目の緩みなく、真心清らに励みずとめしめたまい、ゆからやからや笑い合いて、日にけにうらやすく楽しましめたまい、ついに映し世のことを得て、神の御門に参らん時には必ず下向かいへ取りたまい、右尽くしみよおらしめたまわんものと、神の実りの大変なるをかしこみかたじけなみ、いよやの恵みのおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを、見心も涼やかにきこしめしたまえと申す。花くしびのみ親のみ霊、花くしびのみ親のみ霊、花ととのみ親の神、花ととのみ親の神。指導拝礼 for sincere claps. 指導拝礼。まだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親、親の御親の神の支配を。まだ好きかけて祈らないよ世の親、親の御親の神の支配を。拝礼。拝礼。 Please open your prayer books to page 6 for recitation of Tenchi Kakitsuke. Tenchi Kakitsuke. Kigami konko daijin tenchi kane no kami isshin ni negae. Kage wa waga kokoro ni ari. Kongetsu konnichi de tanomei. Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within, hearts grateful and caring. In harmony and joy, look to Kami always, now and forever. On this very day, pray. Haide. Good morning, and thank you very much for attending today's service. Today, as I explained at the beginning of today's service, this is the first time that we're doing what's called the Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭. And in December, and it was just done, if I'm correct, on the 13th. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, it was just done yesterday. So yesterday, the Fukyō Kōrōsha報徳祭was held at Kōnkō headquarters. And what that service is an acknowledgement to the believers and ministers who have really contributed much to the faith. Ministers have always been part of it because their whole lives are dedicated to the faith. And there are some believers who are also, and it's kind of rare, but they're also honored at that time at headquarters. And I really wanted, last year I was contemplating this, and throughout this year I truly began feeling like we have to remember our roots. And I know that I keep talking about honoring our roots. And I've always, and before coming here, Reverend Wakiko Igawa, my spiritual mentor, has always told me that if I don't honor the roots of the San Diego church, that there's no way that I can receive okage. There's no way that this church will continue to function and to grow. So she warned me, and she told me, you have to honor moto taisetsu ni. You have to honor, respect the foundation of this church. And really, I think in today's service, you heard a whole bunch of names, a whole number of churches, ministers like Reverend Shinichio Shirakami Sr., Yasutaro Yukawa, Shigeru Yukawa, Dr. Katsumi Miyai, Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, Madam Mitsuhiro Bando, and Mr. Richard Spies. Dick, I better call him Dick because I don't want anything yet. Don't touch me. I just called you Dick. He's right behind me. There's a picture of him. You can't see it, but his picture is like right here. I don't want him to get mad at me. But these are people who contributed to this faith being allowed to be here, especially Dr. Miyai. Dr. Miyai, many people may not know the other side of the story, and I shared it inside the Norito, the main service prayer this morning. For Dr. Miyai, he was a college student, brilliant person. And he was, as a college student, he was, I would say, according to how people described him, kind of a little rambunctious. But he was very serious about his education. But he started attending the Kōnkō Church of Shiba in Tokyo Prefecture. And it was there that, he would go there and he would get a free warm meal. It was there that he would be treated like a human being. Like he would be treated, not special. And I don't think special is the word. He would be treated as if this is the way you're supposed to be treated as a human being. The late Reverends Aiko Oba and the late Reverend Masanori Oba always share that they remember him and have such fond memories of him. And as he would always attend the young adults gathering at the Shiva church, he was so passionate. He became very passionate because he was being fed spiritual, not just food. Apparently he went to church for food, but he wasn't just being fed food to fill his stomach, but he was being fed spiritual food in his heart. And when he was came here to America, one of the things that he struggled with is, how can I give back, especially to these two individuals who just coveted me with prayers and love. And that's how if you ever see, there's a blue Konko Daijin biography book, he dedicated his life to having that translated. He worked very arduously on translating it. Not just that, though. Another way that he gave back to Oba Sensei, Aiko Sensei, and Masanori Sensei, he began gatherings. And especially here in San Diego, we know that many people were touched by both of their hearts, the actions, faith, and prayers of Dr. Miyai and his wife, Mrs. Chioko Miyai. And so we know that there are many people who were touched by them, were affected by them, even coming to this church because of them. And we're so grateful. We have to be grateful. We have to remember our foundation. And I don't think there would be a San Diego church if there was no Dr. Miyai. And that I'm sure of. That I feel very confident about. That without Dr. Miyai and his wife, there would be no San Diego church. There would be no flame of faith here. There would be I wouldn't be here. I would not be here in San Diego. And so I think this is one of the reasons why I truly, I struggled with this. And I made a decision sometime in the summer. I said, I'm going to do this. This has to be done. I have to. And I wanted to make it clear that this is not about the San Diego church, that it is about San Diego as a whole. San Diego as a whole. Because without them, without them, I don't think there would be people practicing faith here. And we're so grateful because now we have people practicing faith in Mexico, in Arizona, in Texas, and in Hawaii as well, that are part of this church. And we have to say thank you to Dr. Miyai for that. That simple desire to want to say thank you to two amazing, and please know, I do know Masanori Sensei, Aiko Sensei very well. Truly. I was treated like their own son. I attended their church all the time. I saw Toritsugi with Masanori Sensei all the time. They fed me very well. I guess you could say I'm very much following in somewhat of the footsteps of Dr. Miyai. But I hardly have the faith. I hardly have the talent. I hardly have the gifts that Dr. Miyai has. And that's why I truly felt that today was such an important service for us to remember Dr. Miyai. But we also have to remember there's also Yukawa Sensei, for whom without there would be no established church. And I truly believe that by him establishing this church here, that he solidified Kami-sama's will and desire that a church be built in San Diego. I had a couple of months ago, I can't remember when it was, I had the opportunity I remember. It was in October, if I'm correct. I had the opportunity to have wonderful conversations with Madam Hidesomi Bando, who is a sort of a disciple of Madam Mitsuhiro Bando. And she shared with me how, and I think hopefully you heard that, how the number, and I know that people like Mrs. Tashiro and Vivian can attest to that, the number of the members here of this church were dancers for Bando Sensei. And I don't know what she did, I don't know what she said, I don't know what she could have done, but Hidesomi Sensei said she never proselytized. She just seemed to live a certain way. She taught in a certain way that people wanted to be like her, not just in personality, not just as a dancer, but also in faith. So we truly do have to give appreciation to Bando Sensei. And finally, to the family, and especially, I'm sure without his okay, this would never have happened. Mr. Dick Spies, without him and his wife opening their home to the San Diego church, we would not have a place of worship. And, I take it very seriously that I need to treat this space, as a hiromai, and even more so, in my heart, I began saying, no, I have to treat it more and more as a hiromai. What would I do if this was, what would I do if I had a church elsewhere? If we had an actual physical presence of a church elsewhere, what would I do there that I should be doing here? And this is where I began changing the way I clean the altars, the way I clean the hiromai itself, how I pick things up, how I pack things, how I started organizing things. Because, and if it wasn't for, I think, Dick and his wife, Kimio, I think they're giving us a second chance and hope so that we can have our church again in a separate facility. But we need to practice here how to appreciate this hiromai. They've taught us to practice, to appreciate this hiromai, to treat this room as a hiromai. To treat this room, because if we don't treat it as a hiromai, Kami-sama will never give us that hiromai. Kami-sama will never give us the church, because we did not treat this room that the San Diego church utilizes as a hiromai. So we have to thank Dick and Kimio-san, for whom without this flame of faith would have just gone away, would have disappeared. And now it's still thriving because of their act of generosity and kindness. So today, in ending, I just want to say, really thank you for joining us here for today's service. Truly, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I just want to make a quick announcement. I think some of you may have received the email. If you didn't receive the email, please know that we do have a website up again. We now have a website. It's really elementary. I don't know how to use WordPress very well, and I will be taking a class online, and Avalon Igawa from the Whittier Rosehills Church has volunteered to teach me how to use it, because I feel like I need a PhD although I have a PhD, but I feel like I need a PhD in WordPress to operate it. So she's going to be helping me to kind of make better the website. So we do have a website. So if you want to check it out, please check it out. Also, and that being stated, if you can all do me a big favor, because I forgot to make I actually forgot to do this. I forgot to make the, no, I don't think I did. I think I did. Oh, I can't remember. I have such a bad memory. If there's a link in the description section, could you please go to the Google Forms to fill that out? Or if not, in the I don't know where the chat room is, but in the chat room, go ahead and share with us your name and where you're from, and that would be so awesome. So today, to end today's service, I'm going to replay our introductory video. And I want you to really look at these faces and get to know these faces. And hopefully you can find a sense of appreciation for who these people are. Thank you. It disappeared.